Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another mini set card review, and today is the last day reveals, and we are starting off with Death Knight, which got like an infinite corpse weapon, kind of cool. More hand buff stuff, including a double blood card. I thought we were done with the double cards, although we did get one last set. Regardless, a lot of cool Death Knight cards to review, and if you want to win these cards, we're giving away now 4 mini sets out of my pocket. Thank you all so much for 82,000 subscribers to enter that giveaway. Like and comment in the video, link to the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. If we manage to hit 83,000 subs by the 14th, we'll add another mini set. So hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So let's take a look at the cards. First one being a double blood spell, the Helm of Humiliation, a 4 mana shadow spell that gives a minion, so any minion, if you want to do it to your own minion, go for it. Wouldn't recommend it, probably not a great idea. -5/-5, and then you give a minion in your hand +5/+5. So it's like a 10-10 stat swing in theory, where you hand buff maybe, I guess it's probably at random, right? It's always at random unless it says otherwise. You can basically kill anything on the board that has 5 health, or if it only has 5 attack, put it down to 0, might be useless. And then you just hand buff a card. It could be a No Muncher, Nerubian Swarm Guard. There's a lot of good targets, of course. Although, for the most part, the random hand buff cards, rather than like hit everything cards, haven't been amazing. And because it's double blood, you're basically going to be pigeonholed into double blooded unholy. You could still run the hero card. In particular, could run amateur puppeteer, which is absolutely vital for hand buff decks. That card is just waiting to pop off and be nuts, because tell you, that's a lot of stats really fast when that gets going. And you hit a No Muncher, you hit something like that, it's really darn good. I just don't know if this will make the cut in that style of deck. It's a nice like hard removal, which Death Knight doesn't have a ton of, like good ones at least, and it can be a bunch of stats, again, on a really good minion. If it wasn't random, if you could somehow pick it, man, this card would be insane. But as it stands, it might hit one of those support cards, a Yodeler, if you're going for like double death rattles and all of that. I'm not going to completely write it off. I do think hand buff Death Knight is really close to being a good deck. I just don't know if this is the route you want to go with the double blood running a spell like this, because again, then you can't run the rainbow cards, and that is a significant deal. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. I'm not quite there on this card, but I could absolutely see a world where I'm wrong about this card. And it's also a discovered card. You can discover it as a blood card, so you'll probably see it one way or the other. And in Wild, basically the same deal. It's even cost, which is probably the most popular style of Death Knight deck, but double blood Unholy or double blood Frost, probably not going to be a thing in that format, and I will give it a 1 for Wild. Next card we have here, though, pretty insane value card here. This is pretty nuts in Arena for sure, and we'll see about ladder. The Toy Snatching Geist, a 3 mana 2/1 undead, single unholy rune, so rainbow compliant, and double unholy, triple unholy, whatever you want to do. And it's got, you know, the Gigantify, so you get the 8/8 version where you play an 8 mana 8/8 Battle Cry Discovered Undead, reduce its cost by 8, right? You're basically going to get the minion for free most of the times, and then if you hand buff this at all, you could do some insane mana cheat on either versions, right? So I feel like this could go into a hand buff deck where you just scam out like really big stats. You just get a big undead from this and then just cheat it out, whether it's 3 or 8 mana. And that's why it's like an Arena value so good. Value and mana cheat is ridiculous. So right out the gate, you're gonna get 3 mana 2/1 that discovers an undead and discounts it by 2. That's pretty darn solid. So I don't know about ladder, where value really has fallen off in recent times. If your value isn't based around mana cheating and scamming, it's not working so well. But this is that, all right? This can do that. You can get some mana cheat. You can get a bit of a scam with it. It has potential. I'm not going to write it off. I think it works in hand buff, rainbow, value. You never know. It's 4 cards in one, right? We saw that with Window Shopper, how that worked out. It kind of reminds me of that in a little bit of a way. Not as tutorable or abusable, but it's something to look out for. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, a 2 out of 5 in wild because it's odd cost, and there's way more undeads in wild, so it makes it way worse. But yeah, this card, absolutely could be a player, and I want to draft all of these in Arena. I want to draft them all and get all the undead, because, oh man, discovering cards in Arena, so freaking good. And next we have a card that I didn't think I would see in Death Knight. It is a weird one, and I'm wondering if it'll be good. It is a brand new weapon, the Foam Render, a 5-mana, 5/1 single unholy rune weapon. Whenever your hero attacks, spend 3 corpses to gain +1 durability. So as long as you have corpses, as long as you always have 3 up, this is like an infinite weapon. It's 5 attack every single turn. And we've seen this kind of thing a little bit before. There's like a tradable warrior weapon that was a 5/1 that gained +2 durability. It's an infinite, but you get a ton of durability on that card. And it became a relevant card more to cycle, but it could just push a lot of damage in the end game. Of course, there's like the Taunt Warrior that gets more durability every time you play a taunt, which is 2 mana cheaper than this, sees almost no play, and I feel like is a lot easier to do because, yeah, gaining corpses is not always the easiest thing, but in a rainbow deck, this is a great corpse spender for your climactic necrotic explosion. There's not a ton of great corpse spenders, and this could just be one of those. Thankfully, this doesn't have lifesteal, so you're not like infinitely healing too, but it could be a lot of damage. It could be a nice corpse spender for those decks, and I think it could possibly work in strict rainbow deck where you're purely wanting to gain corpses, spend corpses, and just murder your opponent with that last climactic necrotic explosion, which can be done pretty well when you're pushing damage every turn, 5 a turn, right? If you're always going face. The only issue is it's 5 mana, and I might want to spend my corpses on those corpse brides and those other cards that are doing those things. But it's a card that I could see again popping up, making rainbow work in that line. And it's also discoverable, like Runes of Darkness. You can get this as a 5 mana 6/2. That's also pretty good. So again, one way or the other, you're very likely going to see this card, whether it's hard run or not. But I think there is, again, a chance for this to see play. Of course, Viper is always there to keep these style of strategies in check, if that is a thing. I will give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. I think it has a shot, especially just the way it spends corpses and the way we're lacking that in a 4-set standard meta. I could see this actually slotting in, and in Wild, again, a 2. I don't think that's really gonna fly in that format. So yeah, that's all the Death Knight cards. Actually a double rune card. I wonder how long it's going to take for them to finally make a triple rune card, if they ever do it again. Who knows? Probably not going to be in a mini set anyways. We have one more reveal later today for Warlock, so stay tuned for that, and then we'll be all done. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.